Good morning. My name is Sarah Blen, and today I'm happy to be introducing Lily Karnes. Karnes is nothing short of an icon. I mean, is there anyone more active in the grade group me? No. And for good reason. When faced with the option of safe mess or no mess at Derby Day last year, Karnes intelligently found a fun and safe way for everyone to still have an unforgettable day. You're welcome, high school. Remember when you couldn't carry backpacks around and then mysteriously got the permission to bring a tote instead? Guess what? Karnes led the petition for that too. Again, you're welcome, high school. As you can already tell, Karnes is a leader. She advocates for the people with humility and poise, even outside of school, where she was one of 2 people chosen to represent Tennessee at Girls Nation over the summer. You're welcome, America. Karnes is both thoughtful and passionate, caring, a great friend to anyone who has the pleasure of knowing her. She's beauty and she's grace. She will be Miss United States. Ladies and gentlemen, Lillian Ann Karnes.
I sat in my boyfriend's car, sobbing. My debit card, declined. Where? At Joann's Fabric. How could I be so stupid? I endured the judgmental eye of the Joann's worker, and my boyfriend paid for my fabric. This event was so traumatic, in fact, that I had to book a meeting with our very own Miss Pogue, coming into the school during the summer to sit down and discuss how utterly stupid I must be. Despite my best efforts to appear put together at all times, my card was declined at a Joann's Fabric. Miss Pogue was not nearly as fazed as she should have been. She didn't seem to understand the sheer magnitude of the situation at hand. I was so dumb that I had allowed my card to run that low. Rather, Miss Pogue looked at me and said, "That's good. I'm glad you were having so much fun you didn't notice." She felt that it was good I had allowed myself to let go and have a little bit of fun, to be just the tiniest bit irresponsible. That didn't feel like me. I've always been carrying big weights and even bigger dreams. I am responsible and organized, and every little thing I do is planned. I had spent my summer proving how organized and informed I could be, bouncing from conference to conference, completely abandoning my job as a camp counselor to pursue bigger and better things. And yet, here I was, one dinner with friends away from being utterly broke, all because I had let myself enjoy the weeks off. And somehow, aside from the tears shed in a Joann's parking lot, I had no regrets. It felt like camp, and somehow I had forgotten the benefits of allowing joy into your life. My job as a camp counselor wasn't always joyful, mind you. One night was particularly miserable. The rain was beating on the dark windows of the chapel when suddenly the power went out. After huddling all the scared kids together, we began the trek to the cabin. When we got there, the rain had stopped, but in its wake was the heat. And I mean July Memphis heat, record-breaking heat. Obviously, the power going out had killed the air conditioner, so I opened the windows, which brought in bugs. So we sat in the dark, hot cabin surrounded by bugs with a bunch of third graders and utterly miserable. One girl in my cabin, Hannah, worked with me to comfort and help the rest of the homesick campers, and I was internally thanking God for giving me such a helper in that moment. Soon, I lay in a silent cabin, and I closed my eyes, ready for this day to be done, when I heard crying. It was Hannah, so I awkwardly climbed up the ladder of my bunk bed to see her. I asked her what was wrong, to which she said, "All these girls are missing their moms, and I don't have one." Hannah's mother had passed away a few years prior. I sat, stunned, and fumbled for my walkie to call my boss. I was not about to handle this alone. And when Dunstan arrived, we talked about a few things, and eventually she asked Hannah what she wanted from camp. Hannah just told her she wanted to have a fun week. Dunstan suggested we wish on stars. What a lovely idea, I thought. But to my dismay, I looked out, and there were no stars. The storm had brought clouds that had covered the sky, and it was all gray. Dunstan, in a hurry, suggested we wish on fireflies. And so we did. We each picked out one of the flying lights and wished on it. And Hannah went back to sleep without a hitch, and I sat on the porch with Dunstan when it was all over. I told her that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to help, and I didn't know how I was supposed to have planned for a situation like this. And Dunstan thought for a moment and said, "It's not your job to fix their lives in a week. It's your job to have them wishing on fireflies." And so today, I give that same advice to you. It is not your job to change the world. It's not even your job to change just one person. Your job is joy. Show others your little bit of flying light, that spark of joy, and wish on it. And if you do that, then your job is complete. Thank you.